So I'm in Jeddah, which is on the western coast of Saudi Arabia, and behind me is the Red Sea. Welcome to Flags in 50 Places.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is the furthermost part of southwestern Asia and borders the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, Jordan, Yemen and Oman.
Jeddah is a city in the Hejaz region of Saudi and the country's commercial centre, and it's the principal gateway to Mecca. In the city there is a place called Abdullah Square, which is actually in the middle of a roundabout, and in the middle is the tallest flagpole in Saudi Arabia. To completely destroy all continuity, I filmed the flag at night. It was the tallest flagpole in the world, standing at a height of 171 metres, until Egypt made one that was just under 202 metres high on the 26th of December 2021. But that's another episode.
Also another episode is that Tajikistan's flagpole, that was the tallest in the world at 165 metres until this was completed. The flag that flies here is 33 metres high and 49.5 metres long and weighs 570 kilos and was first raised on the 23rd of September 2014 to coincide with the National Day of Saudi Arabia. The Jeddah Flagpole is surrounded by 13 lights to represent the 13 governorates of Saudi Arabia, and the park itself is sometimes referred to as the custodian of the two holy Mosque Square, which is also next to Jeddah's North Cornish. 1/3 is covered with plants to represent the two swords and palm tree, the emblem of Saudi Arabia. The emblem is made up of date palm, which represents vitality and growth, and two crossed swords to show justice and strength. It was adopted in 1950 and it appears on the flag of the armed forces and, more importantly, the royal standard, of which there are a small number of variations.
While I'm here in Jeddah, it's only right that I mention their flag, which is this white background with the city's symbol and the word Jeddah written in Arabic, and is more of a local logo used by various industries here, so it's more considered to be a brand than a specific flag. I'm enduring 44 degrees centigrade out here while doing this episode, just letting you know that.
The history of Saudi's flag is a long and ever-changing variety. Before the 1200s, there were either black, white or yellow plain flags, depending on which caliphate was in the region. There was this rather interesting shaped version of the Mamluk Sultanate, to something that starts to look familiar to what is flown today, when the various emirates of Diriyah, Nejd and Riyadh were in place between the 1700s to 1913. There are a number of places worth visiting besides flags while in Jeddah. Beit Nasif is the old town and was built in 657 AD. It attracted people from all cultures and walks of life throughout the ages, travelling by sea as migrants, traders and hunters. The area is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you can see why.
So while I'm at the waterfront, I thought I'd just show you this. So here behind me is one lane of traffic going in one direction, and on the other side over here you've got the traffic going in the other direction, and in the middle you've got this beautiful footpath with two cycle lanes that mirror the same thing as the traffic going in different directions. It's brilliant. If you're wondering where all the people and the traffic are at this time in the afternoon in Jeddah, well, it's the last day of Ramadan and they're far more sensible of being indoors when there's this heat as opposed to me.
And as this town grew and changed, so did the national flag. The crossed swords make their first appearance on the flag in 1913 for the conjoined emirate of Nejd and Hassa. This is Jeddah's floating mosque. All right, it's not really floating, but it gets the name because it juts out into the Red Sea on stilts, and at high tide gives the appearance that it floats above the water below. Built in 1985 with its blue dome and white marble, it's one of the city's best loved places of worship.
So while I'm here in Jeddah, there's the festival that's going on. This and various other things happening later on this evening. Stargate.
And if you don't want to miss any further episodes of Flags in 50 Places, click on the like, subscribe and make sure you're up to date with the latest goings on. Picking up the story of the flag, we finally get to a variation of a theme of what will end up to today's flag.
As the current flag started to evolve since the 1930s, the text got smaller, and in 1973, when today's flag took over, the sword was straightened, some think in a bid to modernise the flag.
There are some rather ornate ensigns, especially when it comes to the forces. Note that the Canton for the Saudi flag is on the observer's right, unlike most other flags which have the Canton on the left. One feature you'll struggle to miss is the King Fahd fountain, as it shoots water 312 metres high. It is illuminated at night, but as the sun sets, the natural light gives it a spectacular display.
As we've seen, when Islam started, there were no national flags in the modern sense. But as groups and tribes and empires began to move around, various designs were born. The religious inscriptions were popular with most Arab governments because art was forbidden on certain sects of the Muslim faith, and calligraphy became a highly developed art form and hence shaped the design of the current flag of Saudi Arabia. Normally, text on flags is a big no-no in mine and many vexillologists' opinions, but for me, Arabic is a beautifully crafted style which, I just mentioned, looks very ornate in itself. This version of the flag, with its smaller script and straightened sword, is the best design yet, and like Morocco, it's very unique in the Arab world of flags, and that's why I like it. The Shahada and its meaning to the people and the representation of the sword tells the world what it means to be Saudi. It's a bold statement. Bon voyage.